In part 4 of the coin vault, we're going to take our 3D assembly and create a derived fusion file that's going to be our flat pattern layout to be used on the CNC machines. So we're going to have a separate file now that will still be connected or parametrically linked to our original file. So if we make changes in here, it gets updated in our assembly and then also on our flat patterns for the CNC plasma cutter, water jet, router, or laser. So the first thing, to make sure that's saved, we're going to go new fusion file, and we need to save our work first, and this is going to be the coin vault derived, and I'm going to put YT for YouTube and hit save. Fusion will not let us proceed or insert a derived component or assembly if we haven't saved it yet. I'm going to go to insert derived. Basically, insert derived elements such as components, bodies, sketches, work geometry, flat patterns, or parametric from another design. The inserted elements update with changes to the original design. I'm going to expand this window, and we need to find your fully assembled coin vault. Mine's coin vault YT. Select that. Okay, here's our assembly, and we're going to select the objects that we want in our derived file, and that's going to be all of our sheet metal parts, basically everything we're going to make. So we want this top piece, the front piece, the acrylic, the side piece, the coin slot. We are not picking the rivets or the nuts and bolts because we are not making those. Those are purchased hardware. So all of those are selected. Looks like 8 bodies, 9 bodies. And make sure you have this box on the bottom checked for place objects at origin. This will allow them to be placed flat on a single plane as opposed to still placed in their assembly orientation. Click OK. And we now have our individual components, but still parametrically linked back to our assembly. Now we need to group similar components, and also we have multiple bodies stacked on top of each other. So these are actually not components now, they are individual bodies. This is just for the cam side, the production or the making. So what we need to do is first separate our sides that are all stacked. Looks like we got body 1. I'm just going to go ahead and see, can I rename this? Doesn't look like it. So body 1 is the front, body 2 is that, body 3 is a side. So I'm going to take body 7 and body 8 and 9, it looks like, and I need to move them off the top of body 3. So right click on the body 8 on the name, move. I'm going to drag this over, click OK. I'm going to move body number 9, right click, move, drag that over and up. So now we should have our 9 bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they're not stacked on top of each other. Now we're going to group similar bodies or similar processes together. This is going to be all by itself because that's going to be water jet cut. The acrylic window is either going to be laser cut or cut on the CNC router. This piece could be made out of thicker material depending on what we have in stock, and that's the cover for the bottom. And we're actually going to cut this out as a separate file just so we get better nesting with our parts. We're going to cut all the 6 sides out together because that'll be in one nested component, and then we'll individually cut out that piece to kind of save material on the CNC plasma cutter. First thing I'm going to do is kind of align these together. We don't want to go with these default values just because this would be wasted space. So I'm going to use the align tool right here, and I'm going to line up these edges. Right click, repeat align. Whoops. Looks like it only moves one at a time. Right click, repeat align, it'll line up that and that. Whoops, got to slow down. And make sure you're clicking on the right edge, not the face. Maybe zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay. Right click, repeat, align. We could just kind of eyeball this, but this gives us a little more control over our layout. So once we're done aligning these, we're actually going to put a 1/4 inch space in between everything. And right click, align. Probably just align this corner right there. That's a lot faster. We just saved half the time. Okay. Now we need to move these apart a 1/4 inch. You can't click on the surface and go move and do that because it's like trying to drag a face. The best way, and the only way I found out that works, is actually dragging it from the browser over here and selecting these first. So we're going to select these top 3. So we got body 2, body 1, and body 9. So I'm going to select that, hold down control to multiple, select all 3 of those at once, right click, move. Now I can drag those up 0.25. Gonna drag these 2, so that looks like body 2 and 3. Selecting over here, holding down control, right click, body 2 and 3. We're gonna move those away minus 0.25. It gives us enough room for our plasma cutter to come in here and still give us a little bit of extra material. Now these 2 are gonna be, looks like body 9 and 8. 8 and 9, right click, move, drag those over 0.25. Could move these around and kind of do some knolling, but it's really not necessary. We can just leave these in space as they are, because we're going to cut out these 6 at one time, and then this will be a separate file all on the same machine, and then this will be a separate process, separate machine as well as that. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And what's nice about this, let's say if we go back into our coin vault and I go back into this sketch right here, let's change not that one of the sides, edit sketch. So if I won't do one of the sides and I want to put a hole in the side, stop sketch, go back, need to update my extrusion, like that. Notice we have the update on all of the sides, and if we go into our derived feature, this isn't going to come in effect until I save it. So this change will then be updated. Notice right here it says one component is out of date. Click to update all out of date references. Click that, and now we have the holes. But I don't want those. This would be good if you want to do some customization on your part. So I'm going to save that, save, update that, go back to my original one. That's it for part 4, creating a derived file for your 2D flat layout. The next step will be the CAM programming to cut out the parts.